the Vanderbilt Commodores, who really need 4 straight wins to end the regular season to have a shot at getting in. And Florida gets the opening tip, and it's Westbrook off to Williams. Westbrook looking. Kristanaki thought about the 3.
You're seeing the Gators trying to get into the paint with Hill, Lorenzen, and Ronnie Williams.
Carly Needles, the long 3 is good, and the Gators are on the board first. Carly Needles, a little bit over 31% from downtown on the year. Good way for Florida to start as Gators open in a man-to-man defense. On the right wing, Reed is trapped. And she stepped out of bounds, did Morgan Beatty. So Florida gets back to possession up 3.
And that's what Florida's been doing all year, really. Trapping and having aggressive defense.
Vanderbilt opens in their switching man-to-man defense as Lorenzen fires from the right elbow. But Williams pulls down the offensive glass. Needles another long 3. Back the other way comes Vanderbilt. Florida's a team that wants to push tempo in this game. Vanderbilt happier to play a half-court game.
Vanderbilt doesn't mind waiting till the end of the shot clock. They'll get that extra pass and make sure that they get the shot that they want.
Morgan Beatty from 16 feet, no good, but the rebound down on the block. A 3 on the way, and Ronnie Williams collects the board for Florida. The Gators' leading rebounder on the year. Kristanaki dishes off to Needles. Out front, Westbrook. The rainbow 3 is good! 6-0 Florida. Westbrook will pick up Spears in the backcourt. As once again, Florida still in a man-to-man defense. All the way to the glass with the left hand and score it. For Spears, nice move with the left hand. And the foul on Westbrook. Nice.
And you see here Westbrook trying to move her feet with her, but Spears actually ended up creating the contact and letting Westbrook be able to foul her.
Spears fails to finish the 3-point play, but an offensive rebound off the missed free throw, and the bucket for Seawright.
And that's just unacceptable. You really want to be able to get a rebound. You have 4 players in that box, and for Vanderbilt to get offensive rebound is probably frustrating for Butler.
Lorenzen down the corner to Westbrook, fires up the long 3, off the rim, no good. But she's made herself available on the baseline, and Ronnie Williams finds her. Nice assist from Ronnie Williams. And the Florida lead is 4. Florida now in a 2-3 zone, all the way to the rim, and the shot no good for Beatty. Rebound to Kristanaki. 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week, brings the ball up. Ronnie Williams left all alone, takes a couple dribbles and nails the 14-footer.
I mean, if they're not going to respect their shot, you got to take it.
Melanie Balcom, Needles buries the long 3 to open.
Most teams just be on that top 10 and make sure that they get a bye for the first day. And with Florida, they just want to get in the top 4. If you can rest for those 2 days, especially in the grueling last 4 games that they have, they want to have a break.
Vanderbilt in the half-court offense. Florida in the zone. Inside to Webb. Down in the corner. Turnover for Vanderbilt. And this is a Vanderbilt team with a high basketball IQ, Jennifer. They have a great turnover to assist to turnover ratio, but that was an ill-advised pass.
Yeah, and they came out, Florida did, with a zone, which they were in man previously. So that definitely probably took Vanderbilt off of what they thought Florida was going to do.
Carly Needles thought about the 3. Now will take it in the paint on the dribble. Inside to Ronnie Williams. The spin move with the left hand, and no good, but a traveling violation called on Beatty, trying to make the rebound there on the baseline for Vanderbilt. So Florida will regain possession here as Kristanaki will trigger it in. But first, for Vanderbilt, Reed checks back in to the lineup for Melanie Balcom's Vanderbilt Commodores. Vanderbilt already with 3 turnovers in the game. Kristanaki. Westbrook with a shake and bake move, but moved the feet before putting the ball down on the dribble. That's traveling.
Yeah, she tried to get a little too fancy there and moved her feet a little too fast.
Well, she's one of those players for Florida that can take defenses and opposing players off the dribble.
Yes, she can. And that's a big part of her game, along with her defense. She's really good with getting hands on the ball and getting easy steals.
Florida now back in the man-to-man defense. Trying to switch it up and keep Vanderbilt guessing in terms of what they'll run in their half-court sets. All the way to the rim, and no good for Rebecca Dahlman. And the call is...
It's a charge, I believe.
It's an offensive foul. Charge called on Dahlman.
And that's a big key play for Westbrook right there, sticking in there and taking the charge, taking that big hit and giving it up for her team.
So Florida will trigger the ball in, leading by 6 here, just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. As again, that signature matchup zone for Vanderbilt being employed by the Commodores. Inside to Lorenzen. Straight in for the bucket for Haley Lorenzen. She's the only Gator who has scored in every game this year. She keeps that streak alive, now has scored in 54 consecutive games with that bucket. And she'll get a steal here and dump it inside to Westbrook. The touch pass, and Kristanaki finishes.
I mean, and that's just great defense.
And an offensive foul, Carly Needles draws in the backcourt from Jasmine Jenkins.
We're seeing Florida's press really trying to bother Vanderbilt a little bit.
And that great touch pass by Westbrook to finish. Kristanaki triggers in. Oh, will Westbrook get it? Yes, she will. She'll track it down.
I guess that was not.
Holcomb wanted a backcourt violation. You're right. Kristanaki will draw the foul from Atia Long. For Long, that's her first. It'll put Kristanaki on the line. A 77% free throw shooter on the year. As I mentioned, 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week. She leads SEC freshmen in scoring, assists, and assist-to-turnover ratio. Misses the first of 2 here.
And Eliana really shows that no fear when she drives to the basket. It doesn't matter if she's going up against a guard or a post. She's taking it to the basket.
She showed great balance in spinning there and putting the shot up. And it looks like an article of jewelry is being removed from her neck. Our officials tonight are Sue Block, the crew chief, Cameron Inoue, and Billy Smith. And they requested for her to take off the necklace.
Yeah, you can't play with those. You cannot play with
Could be dangerous. Florida up 11 here. Gators on a 9-0 run.
Oh.
Dumped down into the paint, all the way to the corner, but Jenkins won't take the shot. Spin move, Bell.
And that was a great move by Bell. She isolated her player right there and then was able to create space and rise above her defense and hit the basket.
Vanderbilt applying pressure, but Florida breaks it. Lorenzen fights for the offensive rebound, and she will now foul. Picking up her first. It's the second team foul charge to Florida here in the first quarter. If you have not watched women's basketball yet to this point in the season, the women now play 4 quarters, 4 10-minute quarters. And at 5 fouls, the teams will shoot 2. 4.5 left in the opening frame. Westbrook right up in the grill of Spears. Florida in that 2-3 zone, though, here. They've been mixing up that with the man-to-man defense. Way out front, Bell loads up and count it. This is one of the things we talked to about with Amanda Butler before the game. Florida's got a good job of recognizing where the three-point shooters are as Westbrook's shot rolls off the rim. Second in the conference in three-point percentage coming in. Bell thought about the 3. Now will take it all the way to the rim and miss the shot. Kristanaki pulls it down.
And we're seeing Florida really letting Bell get wherever she wants to be with the three-point shot and taking it to the basket.
Lorenzen. Gators trying to figure out that matchup zone. Kristanaki loads up. Nice rotation. Splash! 18-9 Florida.
Man, Kristanaki has a quick release off that ball.
From where we were seated, we were right behind it. You could tell from the rotation and the flight, that was nothing but net. Haley Lorenz in the defensive rebound for Florida. Gators back the other way. Approaching 3 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Solid first quarter for Florida. Good hands, Bell. And Bell will be fouled by Ronnie Williams. Third team foul in the first period against Florida, and that's, we talked about it beforehand. Ronnie Williams, 8 disqualifications on the year. She had a program record in her freshman year of 16. She's done a much better job, but that's a foul you don't want to see her get.
Yeah, especially so far out. And you're right, she has been doing well from freshman year to now, but you're still seeing her have a few games where she goes back to her tendencies of having silly fouls when Florida needs her on the floor.
Tyshira Fleming, Carla Batchelor, and DeAndrea Anderson check in for Florida. Pass in the paint, and up with the shot on the right side is Rhea Long, and she is fouled. Foul on Carly Needles, of Florida. As stepping to the line will be Rhea Long, 65% free throw shooter on the year. First one rattles home. Waiting to check back in is Webb for Long at the scorer's table. And she will do just that now. 18-11, Florida with a 7-point lead and the ball, and full court pressure for Vanderbilt here. 1-2-1-1 zone press. They drop back with not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and then trying against this matchup zone, which usually they do, and we're seeing her foul Kristanaki right there.
Maya Seawright picks up the personal, and 5th foul against the Commodores. Florida, at least by my count, should be shooting. Nope, I guess it's just the 4th. Anderson thought about the 3. Pass inside to Batchelor, and Batchelor can't get it, but gets their own offensive rebound. Back the other way come the Commodores. Down goes Kristanaki trying to help on Webb. Inside to Webb, and she scores around Fleming.
And that's what Webb can bring to a game. She's so powerful, and she has great hands, and she's able to really catch anything they pass into her.
That will be the 2nd foul on Seawright, and the 5th.
And look at the great position she gets right here. Blocks her off and able to drop step and just lay the ball up.
And Fleming getting over a little bit late for help defense. Kristanaki misses the first of 2. First action of the evening now for Cassie Peoples, who checks in for Needles.
And Cassie Peoples had a great game against Auburn on Sunday. Even though the Florida Gators lost that game, Cassie was really the bright star in that showing.
Kristanaki gets 1 of 2. The Florida lead is a half dozen, and Florida now will pick up full court. Peoples hounding Spears. Looking for help is Beatty. Nice entry pass into Webb.
And there it is.
And Webb scores.
Yeah. I mean, Webb is really posting up extremely hard and demanding the ball like she should. And making Florida pay for it.
Good back to the basket post player in Webb. As Anderson directs traffic. Now she needs help. Under 10 to shoot, and Anderson will take it all the way to the rim and miss. Webb with the rebound.
And that's the 2nd time or 3rd time that Florida has had a layup and it goes in and out like that. You have to be able to finish those shots.
Cassie Peoples draws the charge from Dahlman. Here's Dahlman moving to her right, puts out the left elbow, and
yeah, you can definitely see it. She definitely shoves off a little bit. Cassie might have sold it just a tad, but it was offensive foul.
Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Florida maybe wants a quick possession here to get 2 for 1. Anderson into the corner to Batchelor.
And Marquez Webb got a tip on that. You saw that?
Mm-hmm. Got a piece of it. Thought about the three, did Reed. Nice entry pass to Beatty, and Beatty delivers. Post player to post player. Vandy has cut the Florida lead to 2. Florida chance to play for the last shot. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Vandy now sits back a little bit in that zone, daring Florida to shoot the long ball. Anderson wants it, thought about it. 8 seconds in the quarter, pulls up, misses. Vanderbilt with a chance with 3 seconds. Bell at the buzzer, no good. And 1 quarter is in the books as Florida leads Vanderbilt by 2 after 1. Vanderbilt inbounds the ball to start the second frame. Florida opens in a 2-3 zone.
We're seeing Vanderbilt, who doesn't necessarily have the height advantage over Florida, but has the strength and the size and able to really get wherever they want in the paint.
Back inside to Webb. Over Ronnie Williams, and she'll score it. We're tied at 19.
And that's too easy for Marquez Webb. Florida has to bring the double team. And as we see,
backcourt violation. Yeah. Over and back.
And we're seeing Marquez Webb right here starting to create the position right now, and they get the ball to her. She lays it up.
And Ronnie Williams, all she can do is put the hands up in the air, does not want to draw a second foul early here in quarter number 2. Coming over on the help defense there. Tied at 19. Again inside. This time it's Beatty, but she'll kick it out.
And that's just, right there, that's just early positioning. Marquez Webb is starting from the beginning. The ball's on the other side.
Now leads by 2 here in quarter number 2.
And has an easy layup.
Vanderbilt has also turned up the defensive pressure. In Florida's last 11 possessions, only 1 field goal. And that is good news for Florida as Haley Lorenzen in the paint. With her bucket, ties the score.
And Florida needed that bucket. Although the game is tied, it seems that Vanderbilt has momentum.
3 ball on the way from the corner. No good for Spears. Back the other way, Florida forcing pace, and it's Kristanaki finishing. Florida settles back into that 2-3 zone again. Amanda Butler has been mixing and matching the man-to-man and the zone defense. This Vanderbilt team second in the conference in shooting from long range, and there's another example of it as Rachel Bell bags the three-pointer.
It's really been Bell and Webb really for Vanderbilt that's killing Florida right now.
Nice entry pass from Ronnie Williams right into Lorenzen, and she can't make the layup, but is fouled. Foul charge to Krista Reed. First team foul here in the period against Vanderbilt. Would have put Lorenzen on the line for 2 shots. 60% free throw shooter on the year. And for Vanderbilt, returning is Minta Spears.
Really interesting story about Haley Lorenzen. Even when I was there way back when, Haley would always come to Florida, visit the school. She really wanted to become a Gator way before Florida even started committing her, or really recruiting her, I should say. Mm-hmm. But Haley Lorenzen was just a diehard Gator through and through.
From Iowa City, Iowa, of all places. Thought about the 3, did Bell. will get a better shot and miss it. But the offensive rebound for Vanderbilt, and they'll reset. Florida now goes to a man defense. Webb with a nice screen up top. Now she's down on the block, battling with Ronnie Williams, and a foul will be called. Who will they get? Is it Webb or Ronnie Williams?
They got Marquez Webb.
Marquez Webb gets the foul.
Marquez.
Yep, Marquez.
You see Marquez tangled up a little bit there with Ronnie Williams. It looks like Ronnie Williams really initiated the contact, but from the referee's point of view, it looked like Marquez did that.
Needles, who opened up the game with a three, will drive the paint and dish to Ronnie Williams. She fumbles it for a minute, but gets the bucket.
And that's a great pass by Carla Needles. Getting into the paint, having the bigger trees in front of her, and seeing Ronnie Williams and being able to dish that ball to her.
Haley Lorenzen with another great defensive play. Kristanaki with the left hand is fouled.
You really want to see her finish that. I mean, that's a left-hand layup that she makes 9 out of 10 times.
Foul charge to Jasmine Jenkins to put Kristanaki back on the line. She'll shoot 2 shots here in the act of shooting. Kristanaki already with 9 points on the game. Can't get it to double figures yet. But she steps up. Every time to the line so far in the night, she's missed that first shot. This change is being made by both coaches as Ratia Long, the latest to check in for Vanderbilt, and a rest for Marquez Webb. And the second one rattles off the rim, no good. So Florida maintains the 2-point lead with Vanderbilt with the ball.
And the thing with free throws, it's all mental. You miss one, you miss a couple, and it starts mounting up, and it really gets into your head as, am I really going to hit this free throw, even though I know I'm a really good free throw shooter.
Among the Florida players now in the mix, January Miller. Pass inside, not a good one. Simone Westbrook comes away with it. Miller will go to the rim. A nice play not to draw contact and go around, but could have been a charge, and she'll draw the block from Beatty.
Yeah, it looked like Morgan Beatty had got the worst of that foul, even though the foul that was called on her.
January Miller, the senior from Orlando, 63.5% free throw shooter on the season for 2 shots here. Chance to extend Florida's lead beyond the 2 it is currently.
January Miller, after basketball, really wants to actually try and get into broadcasting. The behind-the-scenes part more, though. I know she took
on the production side.
Correct. She took an internship this past summer with CBS and really took a liking to it.
She's the wily veteran on this team, has played in more career games and scored more career points than any other active Gator on this roster. And she cans 2 there with Florida now a 4-point lead approaching 6 minutes to go in period number 2. Florida back in a man-to-man defense. Kristanaki inside the long. In the paint, the floater, Krista Reed.
And she's been relatively quiet this game, and I know she's the Vanderbilt's leading scorer, so look to her to get a little bit more active in the offense.
Westbrook with a go. Pass to Lorenzen, and it rattles in. Assist to Simone Westbrook. 2.5 per game on the year for Westbrook, and she'll draw a tie-up, and Florida possession on the alternating possession. So Florida with a 4-point lead gets the ball back. And Simone Westbrook, one of the better Florida defenders, especially quick hands for Simone Westbrook.
Hands. That's what they call her for the Gators.
Kristanaki will trigger it in, but first a spot on the floor where the players were tangled going after the loose ball. Into Lorenzen. Lorenzen, the spin move with the left hand, and puts it in.
We're seeing Haley Lorenzen really create great space and use that spacing that Vanderbilt's giving her to her advantage. She has a beautiful hook shot, and she uses that in the last play.
Haley Lorenzen now with 7 points, and the Gators have scored 11 points off Vanderbilt miscues to this point in the game. This time, on the post, Ratia Long gets the bucket and the foul from Haley Lorenzen.
We see her posting up right now, and a quick up and under. Haley Lorenzen bites on that, and she gets her up, and she's able to finish. It was a great move by Ratia Long.
Long at the stripe, 65%er on the year, makes it here, the old-fashioned three-point play, as who will take it out for Florida? Vanderbilt showing pressure. Kristanaki loses the handle. Back the other way come the Commodores. Dahlman in the paint. Dishes to Long, and Long scores. Florida's lead trimmed to 1. 4.5 to go before halftime. Needles calls the thumbs up play.
I'm not sure who January Miller is passing on that one.
Lorenzen and Kristanaki were there, but neither one seemed to know it was coming. And January Miller, a foul out on the perimeter.
It seems like Florida is having a little confusion on offense.
And here's
We
Miller.
see here, two Gators in the vicinity, but no one really knew that Miller was about to throw that ball and equal the turnover.
Went over Lorenzen and short of Kristanaki as a athletic play by Krista Reed. Cleaned it up. Fleming will check in for Florida. Lorenzen out. Florida on the inbounds play will pick up man-to-man. Florida with a 1-point lead. Vanderbilt a chance to take the lead here on this possession. And traveling called on Reed. th Vanderbilt turnover here in the first half.
And that's really surprising because Florida usually has more turnovers than the team that they're playing. They have an aggressive style of play, which equals sometimes poor decision making and getting more free with the ball and causing turnovers.
Before the shot, Kristanaki is fouled by Minta Spears. And that's the 5th team foul on Vanderbilt, so Florida will shoot. Kristanaki, let's see if she can break that trend of missing the first of 2 in each of her previous trips. Back in Marquez Webb for Vanderbilt. As Needles directs traffic for what is going to happen for Florida after the second free throw. But first, the substitution for the Gators is Cassie Peoples. Kristanaki will get a rest. Dahlman inbound, and she can move along the baseline here in this situation.
Florida's press was really wow, that kind of looked like an offensive foul there, but Florida's press was not really an issue for Vanderbilt, who got the ball pretty easily over.
And do we have an offensive foul?
Yeah, it looks like, wow, Brooke Copeland looks a little.
The foul is called on Minta Spears for an offensive charge taken by Brooke Copeland. They were trying to get her up off the floor, and I don't know if she wanted to get up right away.
I thought it looked like she got hit in the head, but it looks like just her hair.
She's there in plenty of time and takes the charge.
Ooh.
And then oh yes, Marquez Webb, the right knee. Ouch! Needles thought about the three. Copeland. That's where you got to bounce the ball inside. Copeland goes up and scores off the window.
That was a great aggressive move by Brooke Copeland, who initially had a bad pass, but then got it back and was able to score. But now we're seeing Krista Reed.
Splash down for the three.
Yep.
Anderson tries to get it to Fleming. But in the way was Beatty. And Beatty will be charged with a blocking foul. Second personal against Beatty. It'll put DeAndrea Anderson on the line. Anderson, 85% free throw shooter. The sophomore from Vieira. Very deliberate with her routine at the free throw line. It's going to be consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely good to have a consistent routine, something you can do every single time. I mean, the free throw is, they say it's the easiest basket in the game basketball. I personally don't think so, but.
Not when you're standing there and no one's guarding you and everyone's watching, right?
Exactly.
Who's the lane violation on? Copeland?
I believe so.
Yes. So the second shot will not happen for Anderson as Copeland went into the lane too early. So Vanderbilt trailing by 3 with the ball. Florida in a man-to-man zone. Excuse me, a man-to-man defense. Long three on the way, and splash for Rachel Bell. We're tied at 37. Her second three.
And there was actually nobody, there was nobody around her on that last three-point shot.
It's only a 2. Foot was on the line. Needles somehow comes up with the offensive rebound, the smallest player on the court for Florida. And she loads up for a 3. Again, it's a splash 3 for Carly Needles. 40-36 Florida. Under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Webb turns and knocks over.
Well, if you see, I mean, she initially hits Ronnie Williams. She falls to the floor. As you can see here, Ronnie Williams is already on the ground, turns around, and hits another play, and the ref sees that.
There goes Ronnie falling down, then right into DeAndrea Anderson. So for Webb, her second foul. Needles all the way to the rim and is fouled. Foul charge to Jasmine Jenkins. Third personal for Jenkins here. It'll put Needles on the line. The heart and soul of this team, as described by head coach Amanda Butler, and the leader of this team, now a senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado.
And Coach Butler told us during shoot-arounds about how Carly Needles and Ronnie Williams were really the big leaders this week after their 2 disappointing losses to 2 ranked teams. I'm sorry, 1 ranked team in South Carolina.
Amanda Butler with some coaching with Haley Lorenzen as they watch Carly Needles now prepare to shoot the second of 2. Florida with a 5-point lead. And now Lorenzen will check in. Is it for Copeland or Ronnie Williams? Copeland. I thought it might be for Ronnie Williams, as Ronnie has 1 foul to this point here in the first half. Florida picks up full court. Double team. Out of it is Spears. Minute and a half to play.
I'm not sure who she called
It's
that
charged to Needles.
Carly Needles.
I was like you. I was in that, where is that foul coming from? Who is going to be charged? It looked like the right elbow was up just a bit. But Needles a little too close. And it's called for the block. Westbrook will check in. If the official will let her check in, it will be for Needles, who just picked up her second foul. So Needles' work is done here in the first half, now with 2 fouls. Now all of a sudden becoming a foul fest. That one's on DeAndre Anderson.
Yeah, we're seeing the refs really call a lot tighter right now, and then in the first half.
Spears will trigger it in on the baseline left for Vanderbilt. At the shoot around today, saw Florida working on defense for their inbounds pass. Let's see where Vanderbilt tries to go. Yeah, Ratia Long good with the floor sweep there.
Yeah, that was really nice of her. Let the ball girl have a little rest.
Taking it from the second, third graders. Say, here, let me take that. From the corner to the 3 on the way for Spears. No good. Rebound, Ronnie Williams. Outlet to Westbrook. She'd like to have that one back.
Yeah. Going a little too fast and throwing it too high for D. Anderson.
But those are turnovers that Amanda Butler can live with in terms of trying to force tempo and increase pace in the game.
And that's what you're going to get with Florida this year. This season, they're very fast and up-tempo, and they're looking to get those easy baskets, and they're willing to give up a few costly turnovers.
Florida has done a pretty good job of possessing the ball tonight. Only 7 turnovers to this point in the first half. Averaging 21.6 coming into action tonight, so they've done a pretty good job protecting the ball. In SEC games, that's up to 23.4 as the competition has gotten better in league play. Under a minute to play here in the second quarter. Florida with a 6-point lead, Vanderbilt with the ball. Florida in a man-to-man defense. 2 to shoot. Vanderbilt, I don't know if they realize it, just at the buzzer, the shot off, and the 3 for Rachel Bell.
Huge basket for Bell. She's hit at least 3 up there in that key.
Cut Florida's lead in half, now just 3. 11-second differential in shot and game clock. Anderson, the walk, as she tried to go up and around Ratia Long and maintain possession. Vanderbilt now can play for the last shot. Only a .3 differential between shot and game clock.
And we're seeing Vanderbilt really turn up the defensive intensity right now.
Florida in a man-to-man defense to close out the half here against Vanderbilt. Shaking loose is Spears. Westbrook hounding her out front. Ten seconds to go. Three ball on the way. Reed shot is no good. And a foul. Who will it be charged to?
I believe it's Ronnie Williams.
Ronnie Williams picks up her second.
She almost got to the second half with only 1 foul. But yeah, that was a foul.
Up over the top of Morgan Beatty. So Beatty on the line for 2 shots here. Beatty is 69% free throw shooter, and the first one is no good. Only 0.7 seconds remaining in the half here in the second quarter as Batchelor checks in for Ronnie Williams. Second one good. Florida's lead trimmed to 2. Quick inbound pass. Can Westbrook get a shot up? No, she won't.
She had time for 1 dribble and a throw up. Throw the ball up.
So we play 2 quarters here at the Steve period. It's a 2-point Florida lead, and Vanderbilt will inbound right in front of our position, courtside. And we're back underway here in the second half. Florida opens in a man-to-man defense to open up the third period. The dump down, Kristanaki anticipated it, then lost the ball above her head, but Simone Westbrook is there to get it.
And Florida was in real trouble at that point because Carla Needles was on Marquez Webb, and she was going to score if she got her hands on the ball.
Kristanaki can't get the 3 to go. Rebound, Webb. Out front, Minta Spears will call the play and try to fend off Simone Westbrook. Picks up her dribble. Now she's got to look for help. Florida now morphs into a 2-3 zone. There's Webb on the block. Doesn't get the shot off in time. That's a shot clock violation.
Unfortunate it was, because it was a great move. She really split those two defenders very easily and had a wide open layup.
And Ronnie Williams will check out less than a minute into the third period. Carla Batchelor.
Ronnie Williams looked like she came off a little gimpy with that one move. It's like she's heading to the locker room.
Westbrook down in the corner will get it to Lorenzen. Kristanaki in the paint, gives it up. And the left-handed shot on the baseline for Carla Batchelor. And the Florida lead is 4. Florida outscored Vanderbilt 19-17 in the first, and both teams put up 23 in the second quarter to get us to 42-40 at half. And Florida earns the first bucket here in the third period.
Well, I mean, both of these teams in this SEC season end up increasingly as the quarters go. Each team gets better and better as the game goes on with their scoring.
Double team. Spears finds herself in trouble on the jump ball. Possession arrow favors Florida. So the Gators will get the ball back with a 4-point lead. Vanderbilt has lost its last 5 games, all in league play. And what they have left, they have a chance if they can win their last 4 games to get back in the NCAA discussion, because they're playing Texas A&M currently with an RPI of 14, Mississippi State with 24, and Missouri with 34. As a foul called. And here is their remaining schedule for Vanderbilt, with 2 on the road to end the season after hosting Texas A&M this Sunday.
And if Vanderbilt can get and win out those last 3 games, they will definitely have a discussion for the NCAA committee to get them into the NCAA tournament. SEC can be argued one of the toughest conferences in the country. So facing ranked teams every day in and day out is tough. And Vanderbilt's schedule,
grueling grind, yes.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's schedule shows that. So if they can win and have a good showing in SEC tournament, they definitely have a chance to get into the NCAA tournament.
Batchelor for the first of 2. Some bracketologists have 9 teams from the SEC projected at this point in the season,
which is pretty remarkable. I mean, there's 14 teams in the league, and for more than half of those teams to get into the tournament, I don't think any other conference can say that.
Vanderbilt back into Webb. Lorenzen just with her arms extended, and Webb banks it in. Florida's lead cut to 3. As once again Vanderbilt in that zone defense. And the steal back the other way. Pass out front, but Lorenzen is there to knock it out of bounds. No, not quite. Good save on the far sideline by Seawright, and the Gators get it back. Forcing tempo the other way. Inside to Batchelor. Dribble.
Carla Batchelor really should just laid that one up.
She's gone straight up, right.
She's so close to the basket. Pump fake and just go up strong.
Fleming will enter the game again for Florida. Lorenzen gets the breather here. Tennessee currently in that 9 position of the 9 teams that many bracketologists think are in. 6-6 in league. Coming into action this week. The dish, and the shot goes for Fleming. Gators build the lead to 5 here, approaching 7 minutes to go in the third.
Which is a new spot, I think, for Tennessee. They are not used to being so low in SEC standings.
Of course, South Carolina, top of the league. Not a blemish on their conference record at 12-0. Florida in a 2-3 matchup zone inside into the paint, and fouling her from behind. Tyshira Fleming fouls Webb. She is a master at getting inside position there on the low block.
She does a great job of using her body, sealing, as you can see here, uses her body to seal off the defender, which is Fleming, and just goes up and makes her fouler.
First of two is good. As Deandra Anderson back in for Florida and Jasmine Jenkins for the Commodores. Second one good for Webb. I just looked down at her feet on the free throw line. Those are enormous.
Yeah, she got some pretty good big feet.
Florida against some pressure from Vanderbilt. Ill-advised cross-court pass trying to find Kristanaki down on the baseline. Steal Vanderbilt. Back into Webb. This one not quite into her body enough. She couldn't reach out and get it.
Well, got a little bit away from Jasmine Jenkins, but it was a good look. Just got a little away from her.
Peoples for Needles. Wearing the pink shoes tonight. Gators wearing the all-pink uniforms. Plays for K Week in the league. Batchelor tried to get one across the mouth of the goal, and it's stolen by Vanderbilt.
Which I saw a tweet from the Jacksonville coach really saying that it's really important for the players of this generation to know who Kay was for the NC State and what she did for NCAA with how having cancer and how much awareness we can get from this week. 3-point
basket for Minka Spears. And we're tied at 47. Ronnie Williams getting set to come back in for Florida. As this matchup zone has been giving Florida trouble as of late. Three ball on the way. Splash! Cassie Peoples. Florida back up by 3. Florida in the zone. Challenging him out front, though, is Anderson. Looking for Webb, can't get it to her. Back out goes Vanderbilt. Three ball on the way. Webb with a tap out. Back into Webb, but there's Fleming being called for the reach over the right shoulder.
And you knew Webb was going to get it at that possession. She did the work, got the tip, and just wanted that ball back.
States in 1988 as the head coach. Between her time at Elon and NC State, 737 victories, 344 defeats. The KL Cancer Fund was established in 2007. Already $5.18 million raised to date in the fight against cancer. Vanderbilt in the half-court offense. Rejected by Lorenzen as Rachel Bell back the other way. Here comes Florida in a hurry. Peoples loads up. It's short.
If she was calling the shot, she would have definitely got that rebound. Cassie Peoples on that one.
Florida in that 2-3 zone against Vanderbilt. Anderson with the long reach, touched that ball. 10 to shoot for Vanderbilt. When will they start running the offense here?
Probably at 5.
Ronnie Williams controls and somehow gets out of that logjam and gets it ahead to Kristanaki, but Kristanaki can't handle it. Good thought, but that pass had a lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, that was a bullet right there.
Dahlman and Reed check back in for Vanderbilt. Very balanced Vanderbilt team, as we mentioned at the top. 7 players with 5 or more points per game on this squad. Balanced attack that Vanderbilt throws at you. Trying to look inside to Webb. Lorenzen working hard, but Webb gets it down way on the block. It's tough to defend it when she gets it in that position.
Yeah, and Webb's doing what she does best this whole game and just burying her defenders and being able to just turn around and score an easy layup.
Florida leading by 1 with the ball. Westbrook thought about going up against Webb, thought the better of it. Back to Kristanaki. I thought for a moment it might be Ronnie Williams over the back, but the foul is charged. Jasmine Jenkins.
Yeah, and that call always kind of confused me because the defensive player is boxing the offensive player out, and if they're a smaller player, you know, they're going to get low. But yet all the post player has to do is jump up in the air, and they're going to call the foul every time. So I'm not sure really, you know, you're not really asking for the defensive player to want to box out all the time.
Kristanaki around the rim, no good on the three. Vanderbilt with a chance to take the lead here on this possession. When will they pick her up? She just dribbles all the way to about 14 feet out and shoots, but misses the Spears. Westbrook, she's going to go all the way to the rim and score! Florida back in the 2-3 zone again. Now we'll pick up man-to-man. Florida almost daring Vanderbilt to shoot the three.
Yeah, a lot of open Vanderbilt players right now.
3-second lane violation on Webb, trying to establish position. Didn't get her the ball.
And I think Coach Balco will be okay with that because Marquez Webb is working hard right now. She's trying to get the ball. And a 3-second call is going to happen sometimes.
We've talked about since the open of the broadcast tonight that Vanderbilt does a good job protecting the ball. Came into action tonight, Jen, averaging 16.7 turnovers per contest, already 20 now on the night for Melanie Balcom's team.
And you can attribute that to some poor decision making, but also because of Florida's defensive pressure.
Kristanaki now looking for help. Ronnie Williams has that look in her eye. She's going all the way to the rim, and she'll bank it off the backboard for the score.
And Ronnie Williams just did a good job of lowering that shoulder and just being able to rise above her defender.
Thought about the three to Dahlman. Will pull up instead from about 8 feet and misses. And for me, in that position where she shot, why don't we see as many players using the backboard on the bank shot?
Well, a lot of players like Dahlman, she's a shooter, so she thinks she can just, you know, get over the glass, and it's really up to the shooter at that point.
Ronnie Williams will shoot two on the putback effort. It rimmed out, but she will be rewarded as the foul charge to Morgan Beatty.
At this point in the game, we're going to see Ronnie Williams get a lot more aggressive. She definitely has been quiet for most of the game, but third and fourth quarter is Ronnie Williams' time.
Only taken 5 shots on the evening to this point. Made 3 of them. First free throw was good. Ronnie has really improved her free throw shooting during her progression and her maturation here at Florida. 68% on the year.
She really took it personal in the offseason just to make sure she got in the gym, getting her shots up, and really improve on that factor because she knows she's going to get to the free throw line often during the season.
Repetition and confidence, I've heard, are the most 2 important factors.
It definitely is.
Florida with a 7-point lead with 1.5 minutes to go in the third. Applying backcourt pressure, which Vandy breaks. Florida again in a man-to-man defense. We've seen them fluctuate between this and the 2-3 zone. Dahlman all alone. 16-footer is good. Florida 5-point lead with the basketball. Matchup zone, which morphs into a man-to-man from time to time for Vanderbilt. Kristanaki's got a head of steam. Dishes it out to Lorenzen on the baseline. Haley Lorenzen in double figures now with 11 points. And Florida again with a lead of 7 with under a minute to go in the third. 3 ball on the way, no good. Batchelor outlets to Kristanaki. Trailing is Lorenzen, puts it up with the left hand and is fouled. The blocking foul called on Minta Spears.
It's a little bit risky to pass the ball full steam with your post player coming down the lane, but Haley Lorenzen was able to compose herself, not travel, and get the foul called.
Chance to extend Florida's lead here with the clock stopped. 38.7 in the third. Lorenzen. Extends Florida's lead to 8. Now it doesn't on the night.
It's interesting those circles on her shoulders.
I was going to ask you what those are. What are those?
It's for athlete. It's called cupping.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure why they use the cupping, but I know that it's for athletic training reasons. Almost has the purpose of the kinesio tape.
Simone Westbrook with the steal. Shot clock is off. She goes right up and misses. Morgan Beatty with the rebound. Back the other way, Vanderbilt. 3-on-1 break. And the bucket for Ratia Long. Florida now will play for one shot, under 10 seconds. And an offensive foul on Lorenzen.
Minta Spears seems a little shaken up from that hit she just took.
Vanderbilt with a chance with 5 seconds to, again, cut into Florida's lead here at the end of the period. Dahlman pulls up and misses the shot. And the third quarter is history. Florida will go to the fourth quarter with a 6-point lead over the Vanderbilt Commodores.
To bump up on that line. If they were able to finish out the SEC season and get deep into the SEC tournament, they possibly become maybe a 3 seed or a 2 seed.
You saw there near the end of the resume, the bad losses. It was the first of the year against Temple, and Florida's last time out against Auburn. Have shown some great offensive output tonight as Vanderbilt from the baseline. The shot missed by Beatty, but another tie-up, and right in the middle of it, guess who?
Haley Lorenzen.
Webb.
Oh, we were off. We were off
and
on that.
Lorenzen.
Thought I could read your mind
Each
on
got
that one.
one.
Yeah, I thought I really had you on that one.
Well, she leaned back with the ball and just leaned back with the ball, and everyone went with her.
That's what happens when you're the strongest one on the floor.
Florida against Vanderbilt pressure. Ronnie Williams just got the feet down in time to receive that pass. As you said, it's Ronnie Williams' time. This time she'll skip pass back into Lorenzen. And Lorenzen can't get it to go, but Ronnie Williams with the offensive rebound misses as well.
A lot of bodies hitting the floor right now.
Did they pick out Webb or Anderson? Webb.
Webb, yep.
It's on Marquez Webb, her third. First team foul here in the fourth period against the Vanderbilt Commodores.
And the Florida Gators have to finish these in the paint.
In and out.
Yeah.
Tantalizingly on the rim. 6-point lead and the ball for Florida. Westbrook triggers in from the baseline. Needles goes into big country. Gets it back somehow.
Is that a double dribble?
Someone touched it in the interim. I think it was Webb.
Okay.
Anderson somehow gets it back out to Needles. The three is on the short part of the rim. 3-on-1 Vanderbilt. But Ronnie Williams cleans up the miss. Simone Westbrook with some fancy ball handling. The long three on the way. Splash down. That one might have drawn rain.
I mean, that was deep. That was Steph Curry-like deep, if I could say that. Maybe getting a little hasty.
Allow you to say it.
Maybe getting a little too hasty, but.
I'll give you another name from the NBA of the past. That one has so much arc on it. She shoots it with so much arc. Reminds me of Garfield Hurd. I wonder if our producer even remembers that one.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
Oh, an attempt to be aggressive and get the ball down to Haley Lorenzen. It sails over her head. Westbrook again.
And here we see long distance. Simone Westbrook just
Bang!
making it rain.
Wow. Are you a coach going, no, 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 no? Yes.
That's exactly what Coach Butler did.
Florida with a 6-point lead. Webb inside. Kristanaki challenges. Webb gets it right back and kind of flips her to the side.
Yeah.
16 points for Webb. Into Lorenzen, thought about it, turned into Webb. Kicked it back out to Kristanaki. Tough shot in the paint. The damage is done, and she'll get one.
That was a great finish by Kristanaki. She was able to get into that paint, use the multi-direction, and just finish the shot.
And I missed who the foul was called on.
Possibly could have been a travel.
Dahlman.
But refs didn't see it.
Dahlman's third.
Definitely a European thing, but it's all right.
It's actually called on Bell, thanks to our statistician courtside, Dan Ferran. Bell's second foul in the evening. 65-58 Florida. Peoples applying pressure in the backcourt. Broken by Spears. Florida man-to-man. That looked awkward. The steps there. 10 to shoot. The dish. Florida takes it, though. The steal, Ronnie Williams. Traveling called on DeAndrea Anderson. Under 7 to play in the fourth quarter.
And we're seeing Florida really kind of go into what their MO is this season, really. Hard-nosed defense, get the steals, and then really a risk of turn the ball over. They do such a great job on defense, but then don't reward themselves most of the time on offense.
Melanie Balcom inserts Jasmine Jenkins back into the lineup. She, with her 4 fouls, she'll control here and call the play for the Commodores. Commodores trail by 7. Florida playing man-to-man. Inside to Webb. And Fleming from behind. The officials will call that every time, even though you might get mostly ball. Looked pretty good from our vantage point. Let's take another look here. That looks like it might have been all ball. The long reach for Fleming.
Yeah, but the angle from the refs, you probably saw something different. That might be the first time I have the refs back on usual calls.
Webb with her 17th point. As Westbrook will check back in for DeAndrea Anderson.
And that distraction.
That's a weird looking horse.
Almost as creepy as that one commercial in the Super Bowl, Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
Yeah, I was close to that.
My kids have been saying that for 3 weeks. Vanderbilt with Jenkins. Picked up her dribble. Reed, the 6-footer, no good. Batchelor pulls it down for Florida. Outlet to Westbrook. Ill-advised pass going for Fleming. Running, post player.
Wow, that was an impressive tip by Jasmine Jenkins just to save that possession for Vanderbilt.
6 minutes to play in the fourth. Webb setting a screen for Jasmine Jenkins. Flashing, getting the ball, and spinning and shooting and missing is Reed. Florida's basketball. Could have been bumped there. But it goes back for Florida. Florida content now to maybe run a little clock. Up by 6. Extend the shot clock before taking a shot. And a bad pass in the passing lane is Jasmine Jenkins. All the way to the rim, and she is fouled.
And you just don't want to see that. You make a mistake on one end, you want to go down there and then make another foul. It's just an unfortunate series of plays for Cassie Peoples.
Foul on Cassie Peoples. Her first foul. Puts Jenkins on the line, a 70% free throw shooter coming into action tonight. As Needles will check back in for Florida. And Spears to run the point back in for Vanderbilt. Spears in a graduate program. Played her first 2 years at Texas Tech before transferring to Nashville. Second one no good as well. Fleming cleans the boards.
Spears is known to be the real even keel leader for the Vanderbilt team this year. And really giving them that peace of mind during this hard stretch for them when they've lost 5 straight.
Batchelor deals all the way to the rim and misses the shot, but Fleming's there. She misses the putback. Those are 2 at point-blank range for Florida, and Webb grabbing the rebound is fouled.
And Fleming on this one, which is a great take by Carla Batchelor, uses a ball fake. But Fleming, all she needs to do is take her time. Marquez Webb was off balance at that point.
Kristanaki picks up her first foul. And second team foul. Make it third against Florida here in the frame. Florida will pick up full court. Needles hounding Spears. That's where you want Webb to get it if you're Florida defensively. Ronnie Williams with the block of Jasmine Jenkins. Jenkins thought that Williams might have got some of the right arm.
Jasmine Jenkins made a great backdoor cut, but Ronnie Williams came there with the monster block.
3 on the way from Kristanaki. Splashdown! The Florida lead is 9. Vanderbilt really needs to score this trip. Cannot have an empty possession. Looking inside to Webb, but they'll dump it down instead to Bell. And Bell rimming out, no good. Ronnie Williams cleans the defensive glass. Florida with 3 on 3, maybe a better decision to pull it out. Under 4 minutes to play in the fourth.
Florida really needs to set up a play, and you're seeing Haley Lorenzen taking kind of a quick shot right there, and I'm sure Coach Miller really wanted them to have a under 10 possession.
And a basket at point range for Morgan Beatty, and the foul. Blocked. Gators up by 7 with Kristanaki. Splashdown for 3.
And we'll see who can tough it out.
Free throw is good. She completes the 3-point play. Morgan Beatty. The lead cut to 6. Backcourt pressure. Full court pressure by Vanderbilt. Florida breaks it with Westbrook on the right wing. If you're Florida, you don't have to really hurry. You've got a 6-point lead. Now approaching 3 minutes to go. Westbrook in the paint, dishes it back out, and she will be called for the offensive foul.
And like you were saying, you don't have to hurry, but you need to be efficient. Efficient with the time and the plays. And Westbrook getting a little antsy and running into Marquez Webb right there.
It looked like she might have tried to go to her left to avoid the contact, but then puts the right shoulder in at the last moment.
And at the same time, Marquez Webb looked like she moved a little bit, so that really wasn't a clear charge, but the rest saw differently.
Toughest call in basketball, the block charge. Vanderbilt gets the ball, trailing by 6. Florida man-to-man aggressive defense
and
here.
Same play, they're trying to get
inside to Webb. Lorenzen blocks it, and off of Webb, out of bounds. Florida will get the ball back. Great defensive play there by Haley Lorenzen. Worth another look.
Just stuck in there and had her hands up, didn't jump, and Marquez was able to knock it out of bounds by herself.
Needles in the paint, out to Westbrook. Rainbow 3 on the way, no good. Back the other way to Reed, and Reed gets the ball in the bucket. Florida's lead trimmed to 4. Again, Vanderbilt, full court pressure. Florida breaks it, 20 to shoot. And this is where you probably think Florida will get it down to between 8 and 6 seconds before running a play. 10 to shoot now. Kristanaki takes it all the way to the rim and misses the layup. In and out.
That's just been the tale for Florida Gators this second half.
Three-pointer on the way for Dahlman, no good. Ball on the floor and a tie-up. Possession arrow, Vanderbilt. Under 2 to play. DeAndrea Anderson back in for Florida for Westbrook. And Jenkins returns for the Commodores. For Dahlman. Big defensive possession for Florida here. Vanderbilt will have 23 seconds to shoot. Florida back in the zone.
Florida in the zone to contain Webb.
Ronnie Williams with the rebound and Webb over her back. An ill-advised play by Marquez Webb, if that's who they have ticketed with the foul, because Jenkins was there as well.
And you see Marquez trying to go over the back of Ronnie Williams to get that rebound, and they're going to call that foul every time.
4th foul on Webb. And 3rd on Vandy in the 4th quarter. So Vandy still has a foul to give. Kristanaki, nice entry pass from Ronnie Williams.
That's a textbook fast break right there. 3 passes and lay it up.
Vanderbilt head coach Melanie Balcom wants a timeout to talk it over with a minute and a half remainder in the 4th quarter at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. The Florida Gators with a lead of a half dozen.
Had a buzzer beater under the basket with 0.3 seconds left.
And the back end of their schedule is tough. A&M, Mississippi State, and Missouri, all with RPIs 34 or lower. Ronnie Williams tagged for the foul there. 15 feet from the basket.
She tried really hard not to foul that point too, but the ref had to give it to her.
So Ronnie picks up the foul, her 3rd. And at the line for Vanderbilt is Morgan Beatty.
And that's what you don't want if you're Florida. Stop the clock and they get free throws. But Vanderbilt has to knock these free throws down to chip away at this lead.
Beatty, a 70% free throw shooter. On the evening with 6 points. In the meeting almost a year ago, she had 17 against Florida. On the 19th of February last year. As Ronnie Williams pulls the ball down, and she's determined she's going to take it. And gives it to Kristanaki, and Kristanaki lays it in.
I mean, that's an impressive four-post player to get the rebound, dribble down through 2 people, and be able to pass to Kristanaki like that to lay it up.
Kristanaki now with 21 points to lead everyone tonight. And Kristanaki will pick it off there and be fouled by Krista Reed.
Kristanaki is trying to end this game and make sure that Florida gets a win, and it hasn't happened in 2009. As you're able to see here, Ronnie Williams dribbling through traffic and being able to bounce pass to Kristanaki for an easy layup.
Kristanaki triggers the ball in, and we have a foul. Charge to Morgan Beatty, her 4th.
Like I was saying before, Florida hasn't beat Vanderbilt on their home floor in the O-Dome since 2008-2009 season. Vanderbilt.
5 in a row for Vanderbilt here in the O'Connell Center against Florida. Florida with an 8-point lead, and Lorenzen at the line to try to add to it with the clock stopped at 57.8 seconds. Florida looking for its 20th win on the season, an 8th win in SEC play. Coming into action tonight, the record already tied for 3rd best in program history. Florida trying to improve on that. Second shot for Lorenzen is no good, but Ronnie Williams taps it out. And Needles will control, so Florida with the ball can run some clock here. Unless, as predicted, the foul by Vanderbilt, forcing Florida back to the line. The foul called on Krista Reed, her fourth. So Carly Needles with a chance to extend Florida's lead. 72% free throw shooter. First one is no good.
And free throws are so crucial at the end of the game. You could be a 90% free throw shooter, but at the end of the game, you end up becoming possibly 50% just because of there's so much pressure on you.
Florida 15 for 25 to this point, 60% on the night, and misses the second, but Kristanaki gathers the ball. And another foul.
I think Florida's planning this. They want to miss their free throws so they can get the rebounds and run more clock.
Interesting strategy as Beatty fouls out for Vanderbilt. So Dahlman will get the call to enter the game with 48.8 seconds. Lorenzen and Needles have missed the last 4 free throws for Florida. Let's see if Kristanaki can break that trend here and extend the Florida lead to double digits potentially with 2 free throws made. Nothing but net on the first. A new career high for Eliana Kristanaki with 22. Rebound Webb. Timeout Vanderbilt with 48 even on the clock. I have 50 heading into action tonight.
So possibly Florida can bump up in the SEC standings to third place.
Jenkins will trigger it in. Gets it in to Reed. Reed from the baseline, no good. Rebound, Needles, and Needles is immediately fouled. Who have they charged with this foul? Minta Spears will pick up her fourth. And Needles back to the line for Florida.
And has a chance to extend the lead here a little bit. I'm sure she'd like to get these two from the two back to redeem herself from missing the first 2.
First shot is good. As Rachel Bell back onto the court for Vanderbilt. For Reed, Reed has 4 fouls, so defense, offensive substitution there.
And really, Bell could be an offensive substitution. She's been doing really well for Vanderbilt for this game.
Bell in the night, their second leading scorer with 13. She's been successful from 3. Florida man-to-man, Bell with the 3 as you called it, and it is good. Bell now with 16 points on the night, and another quick timeout.
Yes.
Lorenzen will trigger the ball in. Florida stacks 4 players in the Gatorhead. And a foul called even before the pass is made. It's called on Rachel Bell.
And Ronnie Williams heading to the line.
So Ronnie Williams with 8 points on the night, 2 for 2 from the line. Steps to the free throw line with a chance to increase Florida's lead. With just over a half minute to go here in the fourth. Everyone in the gym goes silent.
Yeah, I really can hear a pin drop.
Nine-point Florida lead and 9 points for Ronnie Williams on the evening.
It'll be interesting to see if she makes this a snap into a press. And they get back.
5 Florida Gators now in double figures scoring. 30 seconds to go. Jenkins outside, on the way. The 3 ball from Spears is no good. And the foul charge to Rachel Bell. So with 20 seconds to go, the Commodores put the Gators back on the line. For 2 shots, Cassie Peoples. again, everyone in the gym goes silent in anticipation of the free throw, and it's good by Peoples.
And Katz Peoples initially had gone to University of Texas and was a transfer. I think she was there for 1 year and transferred to Florida. And now finishing up being her last year this season.
Ronnie Williams making those last 2 free throws has earned her 8th double-double on the year. Before tonight, her most recent was 2015 against Texas A&M back on the 4th of February. 3 ball on the way for Dahlman, no good off the rim. Webb with the rebound, tied up by Anderson. Possession arrow favors Florida with 10.5 to play. "12-point lead at this time. I would think that Balcom would say, let's not foul. This game is a 4-possession game. 10.5 seconds. Play ball.
Yeah, and we're definitely seeing that right now.
Florida will earn its 20th win on the year. With a 12-point win over the Vanderbilt Commodores. Florida now 20-6 on the season, earning its 8th